Hey y'all, welcome back to Cajun Country Clunkers. I'm Jim.
And I'm Lydia, and we're fixing the South one clunker at a time. Now y'all, right behind us is our newest project, a 1965 Thunderbird that we named Lois.
If y'all was able to check out our last episode, we were able to get Lois back on the road for a short distance, but we got her running, purring like a kitten, up and down the road, has brakes, has a tranny, has a power plant. It has the basics.
Now y'all, our first video that we started on this channel was our Thunderbird, aka PD, so we only felt that it was right to do Lois a moment of silence for PD, you're right. Anyway, so Lois here is going to be our newest project because we have a car show in less than 2 months. I believe we're down to 50-something days, and that means that we have got to get her ready for the car show. Now, we are technically going to be entering her in the contest because that's just what you do whenever you enter your car in, but we have no intentions on winning anything. We have no intentions in trying to restore her back to her original state in such a short amount of time. But we do want to have something to show up with that we can think, okay, you know what? At least we came up in a classic car.
Definitely. Now, a few of the details on Lois is that she was gently used. 45,000 miles on her. There's not a lot of stuff that is really worn out. It's just old. It's just dated. And you know how things, especially automotive, when it starts getting old, it starts degrading. And we spent a few days kind of meticulously going through the things that are obvious on what we need to upgrade. Like, for sure, the alternator, it's not charging at all. The air conditioning compressor, it's going to need some work. The smooth doesn't have a charge. So probably going to go ahead and go through it to be on the safe side. And we're going to take the engine. We're going to take that power plant. We're going to try to leave it as much as we can, but we need to bring it up to 2025. It needs to be able to go up and down the road. And we're going to throw some electronic goodies on there too to wake that old girl up.
So while Jim's working on that power plant, I'm going to start attacking this interior. Never done this before. Watched a lot of videos, so thank you, YouTube University. So y'all, we're going to be starting back on her today, and man, I wonder how many hours it actually is until this show. Then if you take away like the hours that's sleeping hours, then you take away the hours for our other channel. Wonder what we're really actually left with. Now, one thing that I was surprised at, and I don't really know why, whenever we got the car, he did send this set of door panels, which are in pretty bad condition. There's actually some duct tape on this other side. There's a lot of holes. There's just a lot of really rough spots on this one. But these ones do actually have the handle grip, which is maybe why they got it, but I'm really not sure. But this is one of them, and here is the other. So this one, like I said, this one still has a lot of damage to this side. It looks like, man, it just looks like some water damage or something, but the people that we got Lois from said that they had gone somewhere and paid like, I don't remember what, just a bulk amount of money and said, hey, just get whatever parts you need. So they might have just pulled these door panels off to have the extra stuff, or maybe for the lights. I'm really not sure, but I don't think I'm going to try to restore these ones because they are actually in pretty bad condition. I would like to because these do have the handle option, but at the same time, I think I'm still going to go with the original blue ones that are here right in front of me and start restoring them. Maybe I shouldn't be using the word restore. I guess it's more, I think I'm going to Cajunify them. Y'all will find out what that means whenever I start using the material that I'm fixing to use. So before I get there, I need to start taking these door panels apart. So kind of my game plan is these are actually in pretty good condition. Now the back side of them is really not in the best condition. As you can see, it does have a lot of damage. Just, I guess not really damage, just some wear and tear on them. You can tell they've been used or just left out in maybe not the best condition. The front side though has a lot of this chrome that's in really good condition. This leather that's up here is actually still in pristine condition. So these chrome pieces need to come off. I need to take this light out. But overall, I think that all that I'm gonna start replacing is gonna be this carpet down here and this section right in here. Now this blue does have some tears in it down here by this corner, so that's why I am going to be redoing it, but overall I just got to start taking them apart and see kind of what I'm working with. The other one is in pretty much the exact same condition. It might be a little bit more flimsy, might have been just sitting up, just not in the right place is what I wonder. Wonder if it was just sitting on the ground for some time, and that's why they look like they're just kind of rotted out at the bottom. Show y'all what I mean down here. But overall, what I'm going to try to do is take all this material off and see if I can still use these door panels, this backing piece. And if I can't, I'm going to have to make some new ones, but I'm really, really hoping that I don't have to do that. Something that I noticed was a lot of these newer vehicles have really simple, very, very simple, like you can just remake them. You can set this on like a piece of, really thin piece of plywood or some type of piece of plastic, and you can just trace them out. These are a lot more in depth than that. They have a lot of grooves, a lot more 3D effect to them. So I'm really hoping that I can save these.
Now I know what you're all probably thinking. Hey, you don't even have the motor, transmission. You don't have all that stuff finished yet. And you should have all that finished before you ever even consider working on interior. And I agree. But we're waiting on those parts, and we don't have the luxury of time just to hang around, wait for parts, just so we can go by step by somebody's philosophy. So what we got to do is, in order for us to meet our deadline, is we got to hit several different targets at one time. Lydia's going to start working on this interior as we go, a bit and piece at a time, so it's ready to slam back together once we get everything done, cleaned up, and painted. Now, if we can get some of this interior in as we go, that's going to speed up this process a whole lot more. Now, it's still got to be cleaned up in here. We got a long ways to go before we get to that point. But this window is power, and it's all the way down. We have 3 out of the 5 power windows that are in the down position. That is not very good at all if we're going to start trying to trickle a little interior in here. But the previous owners of this car told us that 3 of these windows actually worked, and we do have a whole nother assembly for the other side. Now, I'm not going to worry with trying to put switches back in and trace wires and do all that kind of stuff. I'm going to go straight to the source. I'm going to be pulling the wire connections directly off of the motor for this window regulator, and I'm going to try to operate it right at the door. We need to try to get this window in the up position, and if the window don't go in the up position, I got to get it fixed to where we can. Because we have to keep the weather out. Hopefully we don't get a whole lot of that under here, but we don't want it to get moist in there, and we don't want Betty getting in there. If you don't know, Betty's our cat. No, Betty, she's hardcore now. If there's a way, she's got the will to get there. I mean, she's missing part of her ear, half of her tail. She didn't come here playing. She come here knowing. One of the really cool things about this car is that just about all these wiring connections have these, I don't know what you call them, they're boat trailer style type of connections. So I was able to disconnect the wire right from the motor. Now what I do a lot of times, if I need 12 volt power, I've got an old set of cables that I cut off of an old battery charger, and I've got the ends labeled. Let me show you what I do. So I put the alligator clamp in on the battery, and if you'll see, I got red and green tape. This is the positive and this is the negative. That doesn't sound like it's a big deal until you're working on something critical and you need these 2 leads identified, because they get tangled up, especially when you're concentrating on something. And that's the reason I put them on there, is from experience, because I have blown up a couple things, you know, not meaning to. This booted in part of this connection right here is going to be the ground. So we're going to slide that wire right in there. And this will tell us if that motor, when it receives current, is actually going to work or not. And I think, I can't remember, don't hold me to this, but I think this red wire is designed for the motor to go up. One's for up, one's for down. Pretty simple operation. I'll take that all day long. Well, that's freaking awesome. I tell you, this car just keeps getting better and better and better and better. I'm liking it more every day. We got it to go up, and that's where we want it, because we want to keep our stuff safe and out of the weather and away from Betty. But I'm going to take a chance and see if it'll go down. It should. Wow, that was fast. But, you know, when it goes through the power switches in the car and it's not directly from the battery, it's going to be a lot slower. But still, that was really smooth to be the age that it is. And I'm going to say something about the age here. I had a family member the other day say, hey, you need to quit talking about how old that car is because I was born in that exact year. Cars, age, you know, it's all like fine wine. It just gets better as it goes along. Now, when it comes to cars sitting in the weather for that long, that's a different deal. You know, it makes them crusty. It gives them some, you know, they need a little Botox. You know what I mean? They need a little that extra, what do they call that? What do women call that? Is that concealer or is that body filler? Is that Bondo? I don't know. Whatever you put on before you put the rest of your makeup on. It just happens. There's ways around it. It's all good, you know? Lois is gonna be pretty.
So I got the carpet took off of this one, and I think I'm gonna leave the blue. I actually was fixing to take it off. As you can tell, I was gonna see, it was my test area. I was gonna see if I could pull it off or not and leave that foam, but I think it's glued down to that foam. So probably should have tested that, not right in that open spot, but hey, we'll make it work. So I think that this is as far down as I'm gonna be taking these. So I just need to take the carpet off the other one, then come up with a strategy of how I'm gonna fix that area where the light's at. So the bottom of these is really the only rotten spot that I've seen so far. So that back has a big void on it by that where that light's at, which is gonna enable me to be able to put a piece of plywood back behind there, which should strengthen it up enough without having to replace this bottom section. And this carpet's so brittle, it just wants to rip out. But I'm just trying to be real careful, especially with these corners and this bottom piece. Okay. Now this is that void that I was talking about. On this end is where the light goes, so we're gonna have to figure out something there. We can probably put a piece of plywood back there as well. And by putting that back there, it's gonna actually strengthen a lot of this up. As you can tell, it just wants to fall to pieces. But if we can get a piece of plywood, even 3/4 inch, and put it right in here, it's gonna give enough backing. I think I'll be able to make that work enough where I can make it look pretty. And it's gonna be functional as well because structurally this needs to be able to hold the light. I wonder if Jim's little testers would work for that light. See if they work. See if we need to get some new bulbs ordered or not. Jim, when you said to touch these wires together, right? Just kidding. Hey, honey.
Hey.
So this one works. We don't have to get this light. And this one too. Check it out.
Yeah.
All right, so we are 2 for 2 on the lights, which is good, which means that they just need to be cleaned up. At least we know that they work. So that's one less thing that we need to get.
Now look, y'all, this is pretty exciting for me. This is one day, Lydia's working on interior stuff, and whenever I first started on this car, there was one window that was up, and they were all in question. Now, each one of these windows had their little quirks, and I've been tinkering with them all day. Back here, right behind me, this little shark glass section was out of the car and apart. So I was able to get it all put back together and get the commutator to pick back up on it, so it works now. So check this out, y'all. This is a I keep going back to that. This is a 1965 Ford Thunderbird that's really, you can look at it and tell it hasn't had a whole lot done to it. Now check this out. Turn the key on. Look, that's handy. I mean, you can just move that to fit anywhere you want to. So what I have is I have a temporary setup here with a switch panel. You have to be really careful because on the back of these switches, they have a kind of an open bus situation here. So if you touch it on something, it can arc these switches out. And what I've learned already is these switches are really, really delicate. I mean, they don't just push hard like these switches today. You just pull tension on them to get them to work. So in all reality, all of these 4 windows should work now. So I'm going to see if the driver's door comes up now. Check it.
What?
Look.
Look at you.
Uh-huh. All right, let's see if this little guy in the back will come up. Oh, yeah. And now for the passenger princess side. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Little bitty tiny window. Come on now.
She just needs a little love. Oh, there she goes.
Oh, yeah. Just had to get over that hump, you know? And these windows probably hasn't been operated in who knows how long. They're not perfect, but they're 4 out of 4 and they're working. So we have a running, driving car, transmission shifts, motor operates. We have 4 power windows. All 4 power windows go up and they go down. That is still mind-blowing. So now, besides waiting on the engine parts, we're just going to shift on to the next thing and just keep bamming these things out as we go. Hopefully before that 50 days is up, we'll run out of the little things to do.
46 is going to be tight. Cut the table. So these corners are kind of wonky size and a little bit thicker. So typically I could just use the outside of this as a template, but instead I'm gonna try this little trick of tape. Usually I use masking tape, but it's all inside. So I'm gonna use duct tape for this time. Put the tape in there like this. And cut it out. And that should be pretty close. Alrighty, and now I'm gonna take it all off together. And there's my template. Maybe. I'll try it and see. At least it'll get me in the ballpark. Try to cut that out now. It's not awful. Let's see if it fits. All right, so there's that side. Now I just need to do this end. And then once I get this end done, I'm gonna have to cut out somewhere right in here for the light. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see. Oh yeah. Check it out. Like it's new. Kinda, not at all. Not one bit. Okay, so while I have that in, I'm gonna flip her over, or maybe not completely flip it over, but maybe turn it this way so I can kind of see and trace this little box out that goes in here. Then I should be able to cut that out. All right. Then I'll be able to use this as a template for the other side because they should be exactly the same. Okay, so this ended up working out about perfect, but the only thing that I'm seeing is that this actually fits in there fantastic. but it's like it's not sitting. It's like it's just not sitting all the way down. If you can tell, there's actually a gap. Oh yeah, now you can really see with my finger under there. That if I force it down, it goes down. But I think the Jim had a really good idea. So what I'm going to do is actually use our router tool and just router that edge. Then that should take that out, because if I move this out of the way, it actually kind of has that beveled edge where it kind of swoops down anyway. So I think that this is going to work great. Oh my gosh, that was extremely helpful. Oh yeah, that gap is almost non-existent now. Okay, well, there's one. Now I'm fixing to do it all over again. One down, everybody. Luckily the car only has 2 doors, so I'm halfway there. Now we've got our piece here. I've got them both cut out, ready to go. So now we just need to attach this board to the actual door.
That's fancy socks on a rooster.
How's your project coming along? As
I
fancy as
can't
this one?
wait to show you. You're not going to believe it. About like this, really. This was really good. This worked out good.
Okay, so how do you think? What do you think?
I think we ought to just glue it and clamp it, and
All right.
that's what I think. I wonder if we should put a board underneath here. You know what I mean? To kind of pull it flat.
How's
Look
this
at you. Look at you all prepared.
What else do you expect?
Let's see. What does that look like? Clamp. Okay. Well, that's going to hold it flat. I like it. I think it looks good.
Okay.
Gonna spray her down?
So the game plan is we're going to use this spray adhesive, and we're going to put this piece of wood right over the top where it's supposed to go, and then we're going to clamp it, and I'm probably going to try to leave it overnight.
So ask us how many times we've done that. I know how many times I've done it. How many times have you done it? So this one and one more will make 2 times for us. I think it looks good. It's really amazing. Like, this is some kind of tired of me rattling my jaws.
Well,
Get with the program, big boy.
no, you said, do you want to do it? So I thought you meant,
I want you to do it.
So I was actually thinking, and I don't know this, so if y'all have ever repaired this kind of stuff, let us know what you use, because in the future we might end up having to do that. But what I was actually thinking, if I couldn't use this board, was I was going to try to figure up some type of paper mache, but using something like a thicker cardboard or something like, I know it sounds crazy, but that's what this is like. This is literally like
Pinterest, paper mache door panels. Papermache.com.
Or just really, really redneck of us. I think it's going to be fine, really. And put a little
the math. You know what I mean? The math really does math. As long as you're
As long as you know how to add. All right.
I think we should put some on this too, don't you? Do a little something on each, you know? Let it stick together. I don't know.
What do you say?
I've heard of people doing that before. I've never done it. I have never, ever done that.
I probably shouldn't have just sprayed that on top of that, but that's okay. Ooh, that is sticky.
That's
okay.
a good sign.
Okay.
Did you read any instructions on that adhesive?
I did not. Just spray and go. That's what I should call it. It's a spray and go.
Spray and go. Get her done.
Spray and go. G-E-A-U-X. Go.
Let's slide it up here close, and I'll put some clamps on it for you.
Okay.
That looks really good. Be good and strong. I'm gonna use a couple of your little cut-off scraps here for blocks. Make up a little bit of spacer there. I really feel like we just want all the slack taken out, you know, held in there good and tight. You know, not trying to kill it. We just want to hold it in place. Let me go get one more. One more will do it.
Well, we let the wood sit for over 12 hours, and it does seem to be stuck pretty stinking good. So that is fantastic. The good thing about this is at the end of the day, I'm going to be wrapping that material around it. So it is going to be helping to hold it. But we do need to get rid of this nasty, rotten looking lip that goes on here. And I think I'm just going to try to use a razor knife and just cut it off even with that plywood for now.
Ain't a whole lot left to it, is it?
Negative.
So that little piece of cardboard, presswood, whatever that is molded as such to where it fits in a slide on the bottom of that door. Well, it also acts as a backing for the material to contour around this piece right here. So Lydia has enlisted me to come in and rip another little piece of plywood to fit on this edge so we can make this edge solid. That way when we roll that material around, it's not going to have places that it dips in and sticks out because of the pieces that are broken out of this, whatever this backing's made out of. Well, if there is a silver lining, at least it's easy to cut and get out of the way.
All right, we got the edge trimmed off. Jim got our pieces cut, so probably should wood glue these, but we're both being very impatient, so we're just gonna brad nail them.
I think it'll be okay because we have to stretch that fabric over it anyway. It'll hold it.
We'll find out.
It's brad nails. Nails got to be better than glue.
Probably should use both, actually. Oh yeah, that's not going anywhere.
That's way more solid. I'd rather it be a little bit more beefy than it needs to because when we go to close these doors, it's going to be, you know, doing the whole jarring thing, and I don't want our door panel to be all loose and going down the road and vibrating, and that'll sell that fun.
Remember earlier in the video whenever I said Cajunify? This is what I'm talking about. The material that kind of looks like this retro leather up here, we are going to be leaving that since there are very, very few marks in it. At the very, very top, there is a few little cracks, but I think we're going to be able to make that work. So we are going to be painting that black, and then this main blue area is going to be, this is going to shock everybody, black leather, alligator skin. So that'll be right up here, like so. But then for this wood part down here that we put in, we're gonna go with the white and black alligator skin. Kind of give it a little bit of contrast, but a lot of interior designers right now are like, what in the world are you even thinking? But trust me, with the amount of alligator print that we have in the house, it looks good, so I'm hoping that Lois will too. Oh yeah, that's gonna look cool, don't you think, Jim Wayne?
Oh yeah, that's a lot of good contrast. And who would want to put leather on the bottom of their door when you could have alligator? The OG retro.
Okay, now what?
This would be one of those good times where you do that, you know, that famous snap and it's all done. I don't think it's gonna work.
I think maybe on the second one it'll work. I'll let you do it and see if you can get your Houdini skills out. Okay?
All right, you want me to move this out of your way? Which one you want to do first?
Probably the black. You were going to say the other one, weren't you?
No, I like the black, but this is so cool.
I know, I really like that one too.
I've never seen that before.
All right, we're going to make an effort to use this one piece for both of them. If we can't, it's not the end of the world, but that would be honestly kind of nice. So we're going to start with the bottom, right where it's going to end up laying up, and I'm going to fold this. The good thing is, technically, there is going to be a little strip right there of the chrome. So if we have a little bit of wiggle room, that's not a bad thing at all.
Well, that's definitely going to make it nice because I'm sure we're going to need some wiggle room.
There's that. Good thing it came with like 30 of them. Okay, there's that one. I'm going to bring this one. I'm going to continue this one out this way. Back on there.
I'm gonna go ahead and wipe all these panels down with acetone. Now what I've learned a little bit fooling with this vinyl, especially with dyeing it or changing the color, if you'll use PVC cleaner or acetone, I mean PVC, polyvinyl chloride, vinyl, kind of in the same family, but it really works. It makes the surface to where it'll attract an adhesive or it'll attract a primer for paints or what have you. But I've had real good success with both methods. Now, if you're just gonna go out there and clean some vinyl, I would not recommend using this because it's gonna take the color away along with all the little grubby fingerprints, dirt, oil, grease, whatever. But please don't use acetone or PVC cleaner on your good plastics. It's amazing how fast it works. It takes a bunch of it, but it takes every bit of that out of there. Just have to be a little patient getting every nook and cranny, because wherever you didn't get, that's where the adhesive won't stick, or the dye won't stick, or your primer won't stick, or so forth and so on.
Okay, on 3, say which one you'd put in place.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Bottom. What'd you say?
The black.
Go figure. I knew that. Okay, well, let's do the black one first.
They both got to be put on.
Do you bring out glue?
Oh, I thought it was still out here.
So, that'll work, huh?
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter if glue gets on this because we're fixing to do this one. It just matters if glue gets on this. So maybe I can just put that up here, like this. Ooh, that. Got enough? I do. This might be the definition of overkill, but we got 100 to use, so why not go ahead and use them? Now this does have a piece that's going to go over it, but we just wanted that extra reassurance that we knew that we did everything that we could to make this work. And same with this side. The glue was sticking really, really well, but we went ahead and just put a few clamps, so that way this glue can be sitting up really good and make sure that we have good contact.
Well, I got everything prepped up on the door panel and ready for spray. We got that wiped down with acetone, and I hit it with a really light sand sponge just to make it a little bit abrasive, give it a little bit of an anchor profile to get a hold of. These are the products that we use. It's just Rust-Oleum self-etching primer, and then the Rust-Oleum fabric and vinyl spray. Now, it may not be 10 cents worth of difference in any of this stuff. Just with the research and the reading that I've done, through the years, it just seems like everybody has good luck using this combination on vinyl. So that's what we're going to stick with. One thing that is an absolute fact is even with the primer, you want to put about 3 coats on, but you want to put them extremely light. You just want to barely get a little color on there and let it set, let it start drying up, get real tacky. Hit it again with a second coat, maybe a little heavier that time. Let it start tacking up. Hit it with a 3rd coat. Let that flash off and get ready to go. Do the same thing with this. Really, really light coat. Looks awful when you first start. 2nd coat, slow down a little bit, add a little bit more color to it. On the 3rd coat, make sure you have good coverage and final it on out. And it works pretty stinking good.
Well, last night when we got these doors done, we knew that we were going to come out here first thing and try them out and see how they look. We have to still redo these doors, do some paint work, do some maintenance to these doors, and they are not fully installed right now. We just kind of have them hanging up there where they're supposed to go, but we just wanted to really see how they were going to look.
I'll have to say I am pleasantly surprised with the two-tone gator. And by no means are we any sort of professionals that do an interior work at all. But I will have to say that our first steps on making Lois here have a little bit of
Cajunuity is what I called it earlier. Cajunified, actually. Cajunified, but I like Cajunuity better, don't you?
It works. Cajunuity. I like that. I think we do that all the time.
I do too.
Well, look, that's just our opinions, and we're somewhat biased because we did the work. So tell us what you think. Do you think the two-tone gator works? Or you think it's, maybe not. Maybe we're going a little overboard.
And if y'all love it and you think there's other places that we should put it, drop in the comments and let us know.
Lois, the Cajun Queen.
Well, y'all make sure to hit that like and subscribe, and we will see y'all on the next project with Lois. She has a lot of work to be done in these next few days, so y'all make sure to stay tuned for her and get to see the final result.